I'm not gonna say I wanted that man to die. Okay, hey vlog. Happy Vlogmas day 7. I'm in the car right now. I kind of just got off work. Actually, I literally just got off work. And I'm looking kind of stuck in traffic. But today, today we're going to the movies with Javeda and Alan. Having a little girls' night because none of us have seen Black Panther 2, and it's like a month later. So, hold on, I'm trying to find an angle I want to put you guys. It's been like a month since the movie came out, and none of us have seen it, and I really want to see it. So we're gonna go see it tonight on this Wednesday night. And I thought I was gonna have time to go home and change, so I'm probably gonna end up showing up in my work clothes. Cool, fun for me. But yeah, the movie starts at 6:45, and we're doing like the 3D one. And the movie's like 3 hours long, so I'm just gonna go straight there because I don't even think I'm gonna have time to stop at home. But yeah, I just wanted to start the vlog. And I just wanted to start the vlog. So welcome back to my channel. Subscribe and welcome to Vlogmas.
Not Vlogmas.
Okay.
And
it's for 7:15?
Yeah, 7:15.
Okay, so devotion.
Yeah, devotion.
Just so close. So what does her heartbeat sound like? Mighty.
Okay, y'all, I just got out of Black Panther, and I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm gonna tell y'all when I get home because I'm obviously outside and this is dangerous. So TBD or BRB. Okay, y'all, I'm back home. I got y'all propped up on this really makeshift tripod, and it's actually crazy because I actually have a tripod right here, but I just wanted to talk about the movie while it's fresh on my brain and my thoughts. So if you ain't seen the movie, spoiler alerts to follow, because I got some things I want to say. I noticed, or first thing I want to talk about, and what I would consider to be the most important thing, right? So like, did everybody have to have cornrows? No, I'm just kidding. That was actually my favorite part. But in the beginning of the movie, like, you come in, hold on, let me just sit this situation first. Why am I not, hold on. My first thing was like coming into the movie, right off the bat, you're like already like emotionally prepping yourself because obviously, you know, it's Chadwick's story. It's Chadwick's story that we've come to like attach him with and love him with. So, you know, we're coming into the movie knowing that he's not in the movie. So you're a little emotional, like bracing yourself, right? So like the first 5 minutes, they like get into it and you're like, ooh, where's it gonna go? And that was kind of it. Now, granted, I understand why you wouldn't want to make a grander deal about the situation, just because it kind of takes away from the overall storyline and the progression of the story that you're trying to create if you're putting so much emphasis on the people who aren't there. So I get that, but it was just like it was like I was holding my breath thinking I'm gonna hold it longer, and it was just like, oh, is that it? Like, oh, okay. But anyway, that was one. Also, I got my pineapple juice. It's not orange juice, it's pineapple juice in my wine glass because we're chatting. We're exchanging information. We're discussing. We're doing a movie review. Okay, so me and Jared were talking after. And, I mean, there are, like, grander, like, themes and archetypes going on. Obviously, it's a movie. It just comes to happen when you write a story. But we were talking about how, I think she was saying she saw on, like, TikTok, or I think she said TikTok, about how we as black people, specifically black women, have to like cater and mold and ultimately shift in regards to comfort and being the bigger person in situations. Like, that's just something that's been forced on us, as you can kind of see in the movie. Well, you can definitely see, as you can see in the movie. And yeah, that's one part, because that is a big part, and how like resilient we have to be. And it's, is you gonna focus? A big emphasis on black women specifically, because a huge component of the movie is like the power and essence that black women not only create, hold, and embody in general, but just like the additional things that come with carrying that essence. I'm not gonna say I wanted that man to die. I'm not gonna say I wanted that man to die, but I could argue that him living poses a greater threat. Now, here's my other thing. So, you saw the movie, right? The issue in the movie was made up, of course, obviously. But it was made up by him, because Wakanda had nothing to do. There was no problem with Wakanda whatsoever. Like, there was no conflict. There was no real conflict available and ready regarding Wakanda. I can't remember his name. But the guy, you know, the sea god, he literally saw an issue that him and his people were having, i.e. there was a machine that was developed that could find or detect vibranium. And they found vibranium in the ocean, which would eventually lead them to finding, probably, it definitely wouldn't have led them to find the gates of their hidden city, because y'all saw how they got there. It wasn't a doorway. It wasn't like you go over a cliff. They went through some funnel. Like, he literally had to put his hand through some stone gate to unlock this portal. Like humans were never gonna find it. Like, I really don't get, now that I'm thinking about it, I really don't understand why he was stressed. Like, they were never gonna find them. Like, they were never gonna find them. Anyway, so him basically deciding that, hey, Wakanda, you have more vibranium than us. And people know that you have the vibranium. So if you help us keep them off our backs, we won't fight you. And that was weird. That was a very weird approach to the problem, because like, you got to think of it from like Wakanda's point of view, right? Y'all live underwater. Focus now. Focus. You guys not only survive, but are thriving underwater. Your leader, thriving. He can fly. Y'all, he can swim and breathe underwater and fly. You saw the movie. I don't know what I'm saying. He can fly. Why are you asking us for help? Why are you making this our problem? Now, also on that note, I get that you would want more allies. But then you gotta think, y'all are underwater. Y'all don't need allies. Like, nobody is looking for you. I mean, people are looking for you, but they're never gonna find you. I don't know. It was just, it was odd. And some could argue that it was a hole in the plot. But then I was thinking on the ride home. Okay, so my point is that, like, he created a problem and he had a problem with the people, the mainland people, finding out about, I'm gonna just call it the city of Atlantic, because I can't remember or pronounce the actual name. So he didn't want them to find out about it and eventually come and like take his land and focus and pillage and all that good stuff. You know, the stuff that they be doing, right? Okay, I get it. So it's just like when he went to Wakanda and was like, you're gonna help me or we're gonna fight you. That one threw me for a loop. That one threw me for a loop-de-loop. Why? like, why? All right. Okay, so like the third thing that comes to mind. When they had taken them down to ultimately what was a waiting room, he was explaining to the princess, like, yeah, it's not even about her no more. What? It's not about who? The girl that you kidnapped and me? It's not a what? Then why are we here? What is going on here? Like, what do you mean it's not about her no more? I mean, granted, it's not. The machine is made. They can make a bunch of them now. Like, the design is out. That's one. Okay? Two, you had already made up in your mind that you were going to go to war with them. Like, you'd already made that up. So then you're low-key trying to blackmail us into going to war with you? Have you not been... I mean, I guess you haven't been watching the news. You're underwater. Oh my God. I just thought about that. Do they know anything that's gone on in the world? I mean, other than like... colonization. They are a superpower within themselves, right? You have these people who can survive underwater. I mean, y'all are doing well on your own, right? And then you come to Wakanda, and essentially it's a threat. It's like either you fight with us against the native land people, or we will fight you, right? Like, what? Either way, there's gonna be a fight is what you're telling me. So you're telling me I'm either gonna fight you first or last? First or last? What kind of argument? And the other thing is, they don't even have to be a fight. Like, there is no active war going on. There is a potential threat, you know. There's the potential that they could figure it out, but like I said, y'all saw how they was gonna get into the lost city. They weren't gonna find that place. Like, they were never gonna find that place. So it's like, for you to threaten me, it doesn't make sense. As a Wakandan, logically thinking, it's like, why would you approach building an ally in that way? Like, you're an enemy. You're coming to me as an enemy and saying that, hey, be our ally or be our enemy. And it's like, you already had enemy in mind. Like, you didn't even come friendly. I mean, I guess you did when he came in the water the first time, but that was not friendly. You don't sneak into nobody's house and try to tell them, hey, be my friend. Like, it's weird. It's weird, and I understand why he didn't get that. Being underwater, you don't get social cues like that. It's like, I wouldn't... It's the first or last thing again. Like, I wouldn't opt to be your ally because, first of all, anybody that can survive and swim and breathe underwater, they're at an advantage. They're at an advantage, y'all. There is 70% water on this planet. You're at an advantage, okay? You're first place, right? Wakanda is now second place because we're land creatures. By default, we're second place. It's like 30% land. Do the math. Water people 1, Wakanda 2, everybody else 3, right? If I'm 2, I'm not going to ally with 1 if they approached me threateningly. Okay? Especially if you basically told me we was gonna fight anyway. It was just a matter of order. So in my head, why would it make sense for me to help you destroy what could potentially be my future ally, i.e. third place, right? Why would I help you destroy somebody that could help me destroy you? Ideally speaking, in the world of power, you want to have the most, right? And in order to have the most, nobody can have more than you. Simple logic. Me being at 2, knowing I'm at 2, because you breathe underwater, automatically guarantees you 1. I'm going to side with 3, even though 3 is honestly the worst ally. Actually, I get it. It actually all makes sense now. Like, 1 and 3 are both terrible allies. I totally and completely understand why Wakanda's like, we don't want nothing to do with this. I like, leave us out. I don't even want to fight. Like, my son just died. My mama just died. Like, can I be left alone? And that just speaks to another thing. Like, y'all won't leave us alone. Y'all won't leave us alone. And the girl didn't even build... Y'all, the girl didn't even build it for that reason. They stole her work. And you misused it. I mean, I guess not misused it. It did what it could do. Okay, so let's get to the point where she didn't kill him, right? The fact that she showed him mercy is obviously honorable, right? How do I feel about it though? I don't know, because on one hand, he killed you. In his head, you were dead. He stabbed you. He speared you. You were dead to him in his book. He was literally crawling back to the ocean to go live his life and tell everybody the good news, right? But she recovered enough to know, you know, get to the point where she could kill him. She was literally like, you're gonna beg for your life. And I'm not gonna give it to you. But she obviously, you saw, she ended up, you know, showing him mercy. Because her mom was like, show him who you are. She showed him mercy. She showed him mercy. So shout out to her, because to show mercy is to have empathy, of openness to forgiveness, right? Whole psychological analysis there. But it just shows her willingness to move along with the situation, which is nice, you know. She's grieving, you know, like she's going through a lot right now, and she still managed to show mercy. Like, are y'all not picking up on these little keynotes? Like, we're always showing mercy. At the end of the movie, when he's talking to daughter, wife, I don't know, couldn't figure it out, he's like, oh, don't you see, like, they'll be an even greater ally, da, da, da. And it's like, were you not paying attention? We don't want to fight. We're like, like, we don't want to fight. Like, we also, in him saying like, yeah, one day the earth people are gonna come, not the earth people, but the, you know, the land people are gonna come for Wakanda. They're the greatest state and they have no allies. You wanna know why we don't have any allies? Because we don't want nothing to do with y'all. Y'all aren't thinking. Like, it don't even make sense. Naturally speaking, Wakanda, who they gonna call for anything? They don't need anybody for anything. So why would we call y'all? If you're number 2 in the rankings of powerful, but you're, I mean, I guess at this point, let's do land. On land, Wakanda is number 1. No question. They've got a force field. You ever seen a country with a force field? Exactly. They're number 1. You got the rest of the world is number 2. And the rest of the world being America and every other person in the UN or whatever alliance they want to call themselves being in. Wakanda has vibranium. There's literally no reason for us to call y'all for anything. Like, y'all don't have a thing in this world that we need or want. Not a thing. In the event that Wakanda needs an ally, I wouldn't call those people. Okay, those people is probably a bad way of explaining it. I wouldn't call the underwater people. Why would I call you? You ain't never cared about my problems. Why would I call you? Granted, I mean, it's nice to have allies in the grand scheme of, you know, conquering. But if you're just trying to do your own thing and thrive within your own community, like, what do you need an ally for? Especially if you're number 1. Other things. Did y'all realize how they just glossed over that girl making an Iron Man suit? Like a whole Iron Man suit. Glossed over it like it was normal. I mean, I guess it is normal, but like, No, it ain't normal. It ain't normal. They glossed over it. Granted, I get that this is Wakanda and they're so far technologically advanced, but like, what? You just made an Iron Man suit? Wow. Okay, so her figuring out how to do the synthetic flower. Okay, so this is how I'm justifying it, right? I can't think of a greater motivating force to figure out the formula or to figure out a way that we could either grow, hold on, grow the flower again, or like, I don't know, figure out how we can get these Black Panther powers back, and that underwater god coming along. So I think that was quite literally the reason for him, you know? There had to be some big, like, because, I mean, they would have never won. They wouldn't have never won if she never go to flower again, y'all. Like, that man can swim and fly. I was like, I don't even know why y'all fighting with him. Y'all need to sit down and have a conversation. He's winning, bottom line, like, every time. He's winning every time. I never want to fight that man. Never want to be caught in any type of physical altercation. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but his reasoning isn't exactly the best. Like, I'm just going to keep going back to him saying it's not even about the girl no more. Also, Javeda brought up the point that he could have saved that girl, and he didn't. I didn't think that he could save with vibranium, but she was saying that they can heal with vibranium and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, that was real selfish of you. Like, real selfish. But it's also kind of like, why? You kidnapped them. You kidnapped a whole princess. A whole princess. And then when they came to get her, and old girl died. Granted, 2 people died. 2 people died. But I guess, I don't know, maybe both of them were important. But like, it was just like, why are you mad? Like, you literally kidnapped a girl. Of course they were going to come get her. Of course somebody was going to have to pay for your crimes. When do you just get to go around kidnapping people and get mad when people get taken back? Like, that's weird. It's very weird behavior. I feel like I'm really rambling, and it's funny because I'm gonna probably think about this movie for like another day or two, just because I'm gonna be going through my life and I'll be like, man, that really did happen in that movie. But another thing, like, every time that they would flash back to like America or like the CIA trying to figure it out, it's just like, y'all are so far behind. But okay, also another thing, it kind of points to the human nature of like, every time one quality is pinged about a person or a thing, your brain won't let it go, to the point where you assume and expect the worst, and you're also not open to other ideas. Like, every time vibranium came up, it was like, oh, it was the Wakandans. Like, it was the Wakandans. And it's like, I get why you would think it was us, because we told y'all we're the only people in the world who have vibranium. I get why, I get that. But it's like, really? Those people were breathing underwater. What kind of technology y'all think we have? And if y'all really believe we have that kind of technology, why y'all playing with us? Why y'all seriously sitting here playing with us? Exactly, not logical. Moral of the story is, every time they flash back to America and them trying to figure things out, it was aggravating, because it's like you're so wrong. You're so wrong to the point where you're making it worse by believing you're right. Like, you're so out of touch and you're so unwilling to be in touch that it quite literally only creates more problems. and you're happy and living and creating those problems. Like, that's the type of mental illness I just can't get over. Like, can't get past that. Majority of this video is me talking about this movie, and it's not a critique. Actually, I really want to critique the movie now. Hold on. Okay, so all in all, the movie was great. Like, I really enjoyed the movie. I definitely want to watch it again. I really enjoy getting like the backstory and history of like that culture. Like, that was really interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all, honestly, when I was coming to watch the movie. I don't know what I was expecting, but wasn't that really insightful to see that kind of stuff portrayed on film. I also really enjoyed the blackness of it. And no, I'm not gonna elaborate. So I always appreciate a story enriched in culture, and that was definitely this, for sure. I really appreciated that. I think that the movie was good. I'm gonna leave it there. I think the movie was good. Go watch it. It's a great movie. It speaks to a lot of different things. Y'all let me know what y'all think if you watched it. If you didn't and you just decided to watch the spoiler, then this is definitely terrible, because I didn't really go into much detail and you just kind of had to have seen it. Yeah, the Chadwick tributes were really touching, honestly. It just it was really touching. But thank you for watching. Today's Vlogmas Day 7. See you tomorrow.